So I'm running because kind of the same reason that I joined ASG in the first place, which was when I was in high school, I was told basically I wouldn't be a Northwestern student, and so I felt like I really had to, fight to be here. And now that I am here, I feel like I really want to fight to make my experience the most the most that it can be. So that's why I joined ASG in the first place 3 years ago, and that's why I'm running for president today, because I think there still are plenty of students who don't realize that they really have the power to take control of their experience. And so I really want to use ASG to help students do that.
The next question is, can you just give me an overview of your platform, what you're running on, what you hope to bring to Northwestern if you get elected?
Mm-hmm. So the overall theme of our platform is communication. It's a matter of ASG and the leaders of ASG actively reaching out to students around campus, campus leaders, and then in terms of the issues, really creating the mechanisms for students to be able to bring their concerns directly to administrators. So on issues like food quality, we want to help out as much as possible for students to be able to, submit all of their concerns and feedback about the food in the dining halls. And same thing with dorm conditions. Same thing with off-campus resources. We want to make sure that students have somewhere they can go, to get the answers to the questions that they have about, where do you go when you want to live off campus, and where do you go when you have a question about signing a lease and things like that. So overall, the theme is communication and really creating the resources for students to be able to submit concerns and follow through on those concerns, or see the follow through on those concerns.
Is there anything specific you talked about, food, housing, specific issues that you really want to jump on the wagon and get going on?
Yeah, well, those in particular. So food quality is one of the issues on our platform. We want to try to create surveys that we can send out either monthly or bi-monthly that will gather feedback from students directly. We'll go door to door, sit down with some of the dorm exec boards and talk to them about, satisfaction with the food in the local dining halls, and then we'll take that feedback and bring that to the local dining hall committees and managers and work with them to make sure those changes are made. So that's one specific example.
Oh, that's great. How's the campaign been going so far? What do you typically do to get the word out, spread awareness about your campaign?
The campaign's going well. Yeah, it's really busy. I get about 3 hours of sleep a night, if that, and it's just a matter of meeting as many people as possible, shaking hands, talking to people one-on-one, and getting people excited, and of course chalking, into 4 in the morning, and just trying to be everywhere throughout these 10 days.
I know that there was a presidential debate last night. Can you tell me how you think that went? What were the main issues of contention, and your thoughts on that?
Yeah, so I think a lot of the coverage touched on the fact that our platforms in terms of the issues aren't that different. We all can identify kind of the same problems that students face and the same problems in terms of communication. I think what's different and what came out in the debate is the fact that our team does have a better grasp of the solutions and how to solve those problems. And we've laid out a plan for how we're going to solve the problems of communication, how we're going to solve, the problems that students face in terms of food quality and dorm conditions. So I think the differences came out in the debate last night in terms of who's the most fit to achieve those solutions.
Certainly. Obviously, you saw today that the Daily endorsed you and Jazzy. Can you talk a little bit about, do you think that's going to make a big difference? Do you think it's going to be good? Is it not going to matter?
Right. I was really, really excited to hear that the Daily endorsed us unanimously, but I don't think that, that's a make or break decision. We definitely realize that we still have to go out today and tomorrow and knock on doors and meet people, because that's what people are going to respond to. So we love, that the Daily endorsed us, but, we still have a lot of work to do.
Excellent. And I know you said you're going to knock on doors. Do you have any game plan for the next 48 or something hours until the election?
Yeah, we have a number of dorms that we want to hit, and then we'll just be around campus, and as far as chalking tonight and putting up flyers and handing out quarter sheets. So we have a plan, but I don't know if I want to put it on camera.
Okay. That's great. I guess one last thing, if there's anything right now you'd like to tell the Northwestern student body if they're watching, is there a message?
To you or to the camera?
I know.
Yeah, I would say that the choice right now is pretty clear, and I think the Daily exposed some of those things. It's a matter of who's going to be, best able not just to listen to student concerns, but to actually do something about them and to turn what students really care about into action that they'll see. So I think Jazzy and I really embody that spirit. That's the attitude that we want to take, and we're ready to go Wednesday night if we're elected.
Since coming to Northwestern, my passion has been for serving the people that I'm with, the people that I interact with in any way possible. I started out on ANO and then Wildcat Welcome and Mayfest because those were very tangible ways that I could serve the student body. But then I also became ASG Senator and got to work on more big ideas and longer-term projects that were both tangible but also very ideological and would very much impact the student body. And so that was an awesome experience, and I love the challenge and the opportunities of not only working on tangible projects, but also those that have a bigger impact on campus.
As for me, I definitely want to bring a sense of efficiency and accountability to ASG overall. In my experience on the Student Activities Finance Committee, I've really been able to see how efficient and accountable student groups run, and I really want to bring that culture into ASG directly. I also believe in building a Northwestern community and a sense of community that underlies the entire campus. Through my work on the New Student Center Initiative, being the director, I've sort of been able to work on that issue and really talk to students about what community means and how we can better improve that. And I've sort of realized that student government, and ASG particularly, would be the best avenue through which we can really build a sense of Northwestern community.
Oh, that's all excellent. Could you guys tell me a little bit about your platform and the major issues, your take on them, and what differentiates yourself from Matt?
Sure. We believe that this election is about more than just the issues. So we think before ASG can effectively tackle any issue, they really need to have a common purpose, a common vision, and common action plan for every single member of ASG. And so that's why we want to solidify the character of ASG, which is serving students. And that comes about through experience, accountability, and partnerships. So we believe that Ash and I bring the perfect blend of experience, both within ASG, but also within student groups from across campus. So we'd be able to bring the leadership skills and the group dynamics that we've seen work in ANO, Mayfest, Wildcat Welcome, tour guiding back to ASG and be able to tailor it to fit ASG and really use what has worked over the last 2.5 years to ASG and provide solutions for ASG. I think as far as accountability goes, the best way to be accountable is through creating action and through results. And so Ash and I have very defined action plans moving forward for ASG and for every single member, working to not only create a cohesive team within ASG, but also really working with student groups and leaders and members of Northwestern from across campus to accomplish all the projects and in a very tangible, very action-oriented manner. I think the last one is partnership, and we believe that ASG, as the student group that is supposed to unite campus and build community, what better way than to really start partnering with other groups of students across campus to work on their goals and what matters to them and really make those dreams happen here at Northwestern. And so we're confident that we would be able to not only make things happen within ASG, but make them matter as they happen.
Right, yeah, just to build on that, I mean, I think what defines Austin and I is the experience that we've had. And you really, in the 2.5 years that we've been here, we've been able to get to know campus really well through various exec board positions, through positions within ASG as an organization itself. We've really been able to work with students throughout campus to really understand how best to lead an organization, how best to lead an initiative. And that's the type of culture that we want to bring into ASG overall. And just to stress the point about partnerships again, I think that's what we really find to be really important. We want to bring that sense of collaboration because these skill sets that we want to draw upon already exist in the community. And we really want to be able to work with those people in the community already to really develop what's best for students.
Certainly, that sounds great. Next question. I know you had the presidential debate last night. Can you tell me your thoughts on that? How you think it went?
Sure. I think the presidential debate was a really good conversation for Northwestern to be a part of, and then Matt and I were able to bounce ideas off each other, off Wilson, who's the moderator. And so it was really nice to be able to explain not only our underlying attitude, but also the actions that we have going forward. I've had a lot of experience on campus getting things accomplished, and I know how to accomplish things at Northwestern, both regarding administration and regarding students and working with different students on campus. And it was really nice to have the opportunity to share that directly to the student body and let them know that if elected, I will maintain that culture of action that I've created for myself and for my own time here at Northwestern. I'd be able to continue that to ASG and further ASG's action plan and really just make it a group that's, united, dynamic, but also puts forth a lot of action. So I think the biggest thing for last night was recognizing that ASG has some shortcomings, but from the work that I've done on other student groups and within ASG itself, I know how to fix that, and I have the solutions that have worked over time in multiple student groups over the last 2.5 years. And so really being able to bring that to ASG will not only get things accomplished, but make sure that there's a purpose and make sure that the students care about what's going on in ASG. And so that's kind of our big overlying idea, is that ASG, it's one thing for ASG to have a plan going forward saying this is what we're going to do, and then there's a completely different thing to have ASG have an action plan, but make sure they're including students in the process and make sure that students are, excited about what's going on and really feel invested in student government and feel that their student government is invested in their everyday lives too. So it was a great opportunity to share that.